So don't think to yourself that it's miles away from you and it's something that you don't have to concern yourself about. Trust me, it is not miles away from you. And in 10 years' time, you will be someone. Okay? Guys, let's go have a look at this GU. All right. So in regards to this GU, we was analyzing it from Monday. Now, from Monday, we have been spot on. Okay. Because obviously we know the bigger picture. The bigger picture for GU is in this range. Yeah. We know that. The zoom down was knuckle down and have a look and see what our analysis was and what's happened. Okay. So our analysis was from Monday. All right, if you want to go back to Monday's video, should be on YouTube. This is Monday here. Monday around about this kind of time here. This is Monday. I'm lying. I am lying. It's not Monday. No, I'm not lying. Sorry, I'm correct. Over here. All right. And we saw let's rewind and see what's going on here. Let's rewind. Let's understand what's happening. So the market was trading within a range, okay? Within this range, however you want to draw it, like this to here is how you may have drawn it before when you saw this liquidity grab, nam, 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 nam. Then the market's pushed all the way down here. And as they pushed, they left some debris, okay? They left an imbalance that was in here, and they left one that was in here. And on an hour time frame, which is substantial enough, we got a lovely hour close here. Now, after I saw this hour close outside of this range, I was expecting to see a retracement, okay, back into some of these imbalances. And there's one here. I'm going to label it so you know what I'm talking about. One in here. If I can grab it. It's going to let me grab it. Can I grab it? Can I grab you? I know it's a bit messy, but come on, work with me. Can I grab you? Oh, not you. Let me lock you so you don't move again. You. No. Anyway, yeah, let's do that. Still not let me grab it. Anyway, there you go. One, okay, and then the other one. The other one is over here, number 2. Okay. Imbalances. So I'm expecting to see a retracement into the imbalance. Now, I had the ability to trade into that retracement, and let's have a look at it. How? Into that imbalance. Now, this imbalance here, number 1, has gone. It's been closed. It's no longer a factor. It's a non-factor. But number 2 is a factor. Is this market going to close number 2, or has it had enough and it's going to push down bearishly and do what it needs to do? Have a look. The market wants to get into number 2, pushed all the way up into number 2, all the way up into here. Even, very little bit of imbalance left, a little bit of quas left on the table. All right, let's have a look. Let's play it forward some more. And from there, we've had a reaction and we're here. And the question is it done? Are we finished? There is, like I said to you, this little tiny bit of imbalance that I left here. And there is also imbalance all the way up here that we can see on a 4-hour time frame. But I'm not expecting this market to push past this 50% level, which is that blue line. If it does push past that 50% level, I believe the market could be doing something else, i.e. deciding that it wants to start pushing up and making higher highs than this point where you see that green dot or this little tick here is. All right. So I'm not expecting it to break past this 50%. This is an approximate 50% level based upon 50% of this previous consolidation range. Now, whether or not we're going to take into consideration, why is it there's something over this that's stopping me from grabbing anything? Let me numb this down a little bit. All right. So whatever it is, I don't really want this market coming, past 50% because I'm going to 50% push up higher than this level and start doing something like, okay. I want it to turn around now and start getting very bearish because I'm bearish on this market anyway. Okay, here, see? And we're in this little bit of a range here, but this range is a big range, not a little range. Though it looks like, yeah, we're in consolidation and we're here, blah, blah, blah. We're not in consolidation. This is more so the market just trading within this range, which in a big range is consolidation because it's not making, hasn't made a lower low on a bigger picture. But this is the pitch from here to here. So this is the indication. This is the correction. This is a little energy that it wants to go somewhere. Now it came all the way back up here. I want it to go now. I've had enough. All right. But I do not dictate what the market does. It's going to do what it does. Okay. Let's zoom in and have a look at it on a 4-hour time frame, which I'm telling you, 4 hour is a lovely space to look at your candles because 4 hours are substantial. You're sitting around for 4 hours for each candle. Jeez. So it's a lot. Yeah. So 4 hours for each candle is showing me how this market was making higher highs and higher lows, some higher highs, some ever so slight, well, I'm going to say higher lows, equal lows, and higher highs, grabbed liquidity from up here, and then came and grabbed the liquidity from below here, and it's had a reaction from that liquidity and closing up the imbalance. So if I was to draw a path, this is what was happening. Equal lows, equal lows, liquidity grab, closing the imbalance, and I'm hoping to see this. This is my goals for GU. All right. Now, where we are right now, could it push up again some more and to close this imbalance a little bit more? Maybe. I hope not. I think it's done enough damage in that imbalance. It's closed 2 imbalances nicely. I think its job's done. If I was in that supermarket and I saw that they came and they gave me an opportunity to buy at this price and then gave me a little opportunity to buy it at the higher price, might not be the exact, to be able to sell it for the tenner, but they allowed me to sell it for £9.75, I'd be happy. I'd be like, you know what? They're a good company. They came back for me. They gave me an opportunity, or they gave us an opportunity to buy at this price. Yeah, it wasn't at the actual tenner because we moved so quickly past the tenner, but they tried. I'd be happy. This push into this imbalance here is past 50% of that imbalance. I'd be happy. Okay. Let me zoom down to an hour now. After doing that, after pushing into that level, which is deeper than this 4 hour here, it's bigger than that. I've just shrunk it down. I should really leave it the size it was. But if I left it the size it was, you'd see that we definitely pushed in. Have a look. We definitely pushed in more than 50% of it. See, this is 50%. We pushed in there past 50%. All right. So it's, it can't moan. It did something for us. Now on an hour structure, this market hasn't quite broken our structure. All right. Here's another bit of our structure, swing structure. All right. Got some minor structure in here also, but I'll leave that for when we drop to the time frame. 15-minute time frame. We can see here some minor structure. All right. So let me try and make it a different color. Let's make it yellow. Some minor structure in here. Okay. Why this one here? Because if I was drawing some lines, my line would have to be like this and like this, touching the lowest point before that highest point. The low before the highest point. And therefore, we've seen the market indicate, we've seen corrections, we've seen continuations, and seen the market continue to fall. Not like a brick out of a window, but it has continued to fall from that point. Okay, it has continued to fall a little from that point. I'm just having a look at something. That mistake that I made looks like it's going to be costly. Okay, shouldn't really do that. Sorry, I'm having a conversation with myself. All right, so we can see here in GU, this market has been trickling down, and I've drawn a little line in here. I don't know what this one is. Let's get rid of that one. And this line is ultimately how the market's been trending down, like so. Can you see how we're touching most data points there? If you can't see it on my dinner, I'm showing it to you. Here, kind of here, and ultimately we're here at the moment. That doesn't mean it's going to keep doing that forever and ever and ever, but I just don't think that the market needs to go back up. Now, if I go to my larger time frames, I'm looking for some concerns above that might make the market push up. Okay. I can't see some obvious concerns. I can't see any obvious concerns. We've got an hour and 15 minutes for this next 4-hour candle. But the market is a bit trickly. It's not really doing anything decisive. We are early. We're pre-9 o'clock. All right. Let's go and have a look and see what's happening today in the world. Any catalysts? Is there any catalysts that are cooking that may help our trades? So we've got red folder Bank of England interest rate news coming out at 12 o'clock. All right. And we are in GU. And this is GBP news, red folder, high impact news. We've also got USD, continuing jobless claims, initial jobless claims 4-week average, red folder, high impact news happening today at 1:30. Yeah, and we've got building permits all happening today at 1:30 in countries, in currencies that, are both GBP and USD. So this could be a catalyst for this market deciding to do something. What? Who knows? All I'd say, if you're in the trade, protect yourself, or you can wait until that news happens and then decide you want to get in the market. Because at the moment, these candles are very small candles. They're getting a bit small and a bit tight. Normally, when I see small and tight, it's like the market's winding up to do something. I'd like it to wind up to go to hell, like that. All right? That's what I'd like it to do. I'd like it to fall. Now, if it doesn't fall, I'm not going to say I'm an idiot. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to understand that the markets can do whatever they want to do. And I've managed my risk. So if I take a loss, then I can manage it. I can live to fight another day. All right? It's that simple. It's that simple. We're going to look at another pair. Let's go have a look at EJ. Okay? Now, I'm going to zoom all the way out of EJ. And as we understand, EJ has been an extremely bullish, let me hide these lines, these are my alert lines, pair. It's been making higher highs and higher lows and higher highs and higher lows and higher highs and higher lows and higher highs. Oh, yeah. Okay? Oh, yeah. It's just going to be going up and up. And even prior to that, yeah, it's still been going up. Yeah, this is 2023. Prior to that, it's still been going to 2022. It's bullish. It's very bullish. Okay. However, in its bullish journey, because we understand markets move in waves, yeah, they have an impulse and they have a contraction. They have an impulse and they have a contraction. They have an impulse and they have a contraction. We can see that this market had an impulse, zoop, and this energy here is part of the retracement. It breathing in or breathing out, however you want to describe it. Yeah. Yeah. So at that point in time when we're down here, the market was bearish, though the overall market was bullish. The question is we're asking ourselves right now, has this market got down to its destination, discount down here, and now going to continue its bullishness? You see, it's not complicated. It's not massively complicated. It's me connecting the dots, seeing what the market has done historically, drawing in a range to identify that historical channel that the market's been trading within. Look, this isn't my opinion. This is the fact that this market's been in this channel. It's not my opinion. This is not up for debate. The market has been trading within that orange channel. That is a fact. Therefore, down here is the bottom of this channel. And the question is, are we going to now, have we done, and we're going to push up here to the top end of this channel like we've been doing? Or does this market want to come back down in here first, have a little wiggle on this channel first before going? I don't know. I do not know. Yeah? I do not know for certain. Okay? Have a look at how the market, let's look at historically what happened. Look at this market over here. I'm going to focus on this area here and show you why I'm asking the question. Because this market got down to this low point here of the end of the range. Yeah, in a discount. Pushed up to here, kind of potentially where we are right now. Look. Pushed up to here. And then decided it wanted to come all the way back into here before starting its journey. If I was to draw some lines, have a look. Look, looks extremely similar to the market structure and price action. What's going on now? Look, it was in this channel. It pushed up here. At that point in time, it was where we are right now. I'm thinking to myself, is this market, does it just want to go from here? Or does it want to push back down into here first? Have a look. Let's go over here and look at the similarities. Draw the little white channel in here. The market's all the way up in here. Just bust out a little bit outside of that white channel. Does this market want to, to start pushing up now? Or does it want to come back down in here first? Closing some imbalance. There is some imbalances there potentially. Have a look at the daily. No. Well, yeah, little one in the daily. Have a look at the daily one. No, sorry, I'm wrong. It's not nothing. It's nothing really there on the daily. Okay, let's look at the 8 hour. We've got this big imbalance on the 8 hour, so I could see it, which is probably going to be some 4 hour imbalance as well. If that market decided to come down today, it would make sense. That'd be probably coming down to the 618 to 786 of the area before going, the springboard. This is going into something that we call Wyckoff. And the market making a break of structure or manipulation W at the bottom, and then coming back and testing that golden zone. It's another strategy, but all the same thing. Okay, all very similar, nothing we don't understand. So this market could decide to come all the way down here right now. So though I can see it pushing up, getting very, very bullish, I'm conscious of that. All right, I'm conscious that we might have a little retracement first. That little retracement I'm talking about ultimately could be a big retracement. Okay, I say little, but in the grand scheme of things, as a day trader, it could be substantial. So have a look at this market here at the moment. Let me move this out of the way. Get lots of distractions at the moment. Let's get that out of the way. And let's get this out of the way. Okay, let's take off. Yes.
Grand rising, beloved.
How are you doing, Sue?
Could it also be going back up to do a liquidity grab?
Let's have a look. So whenever we say liquidity, we are talking about there's liquidity always above, these high points. So there's liquidity here, there's liquidity here, there's liquidity here. I definitely believe, and let's focus on this one here first, because I think that's the one you're talking about, and I agree with you. All right, let me do this. Let me put some pound signs in here, and let's go top. So if I drop my time frame down to my hour, can you see these equal highs? In fact, I agree with Sister a lot. All right, we've got these touches here. 1, 2. Maybe a little bit above here, but that could just be due to Rwanda. 3. I think it's fair to say that above this area here, there is an area of liquidity in here. And I think that even if this market wants to go down, I think Sister is correct. There is a possibility that this market decides to go nam first, potentially then go, and then who knows what it's going to do afterwards. So yes, something that maybe I overlooked, to be fair, that market may decide to push up in there. Maybe, have a listen, maybe the news today as a catalyst, have we got GBP news and USD news, make some spike occur, okay, that may take the liquidity above here. Look, understand, liquidity is a magnet to price. Price likes liquidity. Liquidity is that pit stop where you're going to go there, you're going to get 2 biggers, 1 Supermalt, a nice cold bottle of water, some coconut water, a patty, a pat on the back, and a massage before you start your journey. That's what the liquidity is to the markets. So over that first thicker blue line, you're right, there is liquidity above there. And therefore, we may see that before this market decides to make its proper move, we may see nam that happen. Let's have a look and see how far we are. I mean, we are not that far from that liquidity. 20 pips is nothing. EJ doesn't move massively. It's not like it's US 30, but for sure, I agree, sister. That could occur. I agree. So though I'm looking at this and I put a question mark in here, I think I'd be a lot more comfortable if I saw this market do this. And even, so let me just move this down. Even if it did this, then very quickly, I'd be a lot more comfortable getting in for the sell after that liquidity was taken, either there or there. I would. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Because I didn't automatically draw, my eyes wasn't drawn there, which it should be. You should always be looking for the pools of liquidity because the market likes to trade towards those pools of liquidity. Okay. We might find that because of the news that the market doesn't continue this journey and decide to come down here. Maybe it just does that, grabs that pool of liquidity, comes back down, and then decide because of the news has changed something that it wants to go in this direction some more. We may do. We may do. So yeah, I mean, I do like that, sister. Very well spotted. And for me, if I hear that liquidity being taken, ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling, whenever it is, especially when the news comes out, which we're talking in 3 hours for GBP news, and then we're talking about 1:30 for USD. I mean, before then, we might see the market start trickling in a direction. But prior to that, I'd say protect your position or take your profits because that liquidity does look tasty. Yeah, for EJ, it looks like why not? Why wouldn't we just spike up here? So thank you. So that might mean in the next 3 hours, you might even see this market trickling in this direction. Who knows? Might do. Yeah, or it might just dance around here for a little bit. Yeah, it might not do too much. And then we might see it loading up and then boom, see a liquidity grab and it running in the opposite direction. I'd be happier. I'm actually happier if it does that. Because that concern I'm having has left the building. And it's got its fuel, it's got its energy to make that journey of where I think that this market may go. And where this market may go on a worst case scenario could be down into this imbalance. Even if it wants to go back up. Yeah. So it could, from up into these levels, do 100 pips in this direction. Even if this market, this overall EJ is still going to be bullish and we're going to push up. Also have a look at this. If I was to take my Fibonacci from down at the bottom of this impulse, pushing up to the highest point at the moment, which is here, have a look where that green 50% line goes. Is that a coincidence? Is that a coincidence that 50% line is right here, right where that imbalance is after that imbalance? I'm not trying to say that it's only going to go to 50%. I'm just trying to say historically, as an area of confluence, as an area of interest, we understand that the market's like retracing 50% of impulses. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying to you, historically, it does happen. Yeah, whether it's all the time or not, but with this 650% to this 618 and this golden zone is always a key area. All right, and like I said, let's have a look over here. Let's go back to our case study all the way back in January. Have a look. I'm going to pull out my Fibonacci once again just to see. I don't know. Down from this impulse all the way up to the top of this impulse. I mean, that's not bad. Yeah, that's not bad. And I said that this is looking very similar. We're currently like here in this process, somewhere around here. It's looking very similar. Now, I'll tell you what we're going to do. To be fair there, sister, let's have a look. Previously, we had the same concerns. Look at this. I'm just going historically. I'm just looking at the data. I'm not looking at my opinions. I'm just looking at the data. Previously, there was a similar concern over here that sister could have raised. If we could just go back in time and say we have a similar concern here. The similar concern is we've got some of these little equal highs over here. I'm on the 3-hour time frame. I could drop down a little bit, but I just can't be bothered because it's going to make me have to drag the screen back. If there's potential liquidity up here that the market could run for, when we was over here, this market could have run that liquidity first, then come down here, but it didn't. It ran down here first, did what it needed to do, and then came and traded towards that liquidity over here. And remember, there's liquidity above all V tops and V bottoms, as in swing highs and swing lows. So based upon what it's done previously, though definitely good spot by Sister Abana, tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to trade what I see. Because previously, didn't do it. Previously didn't go for the liquidity. So I'm not going to make that prevent me from getting in the trade. I'm not going to let it prevent me from getting in the trade. I'm just going to manage my risk. Definitely know this can happen. So if I, for argument's sake, get in this trade, this is a 15-minute time frame. Look, we've had an indication, a closure below 15-minute structure over here. Closure. If I have the correction up into these levels, closing imbalance, we haven't quite had a 15-minute closure below this level and therefore not below these wicks yet. So on a 15-minute time frame, I can't get in because I haven't got the closure yet. This is just dancing, and look what it's actually doing, giving me all of these wicks. These wicks mean something. These wicks mean that there was once big red candles and buyers said, no, go back up. Yeah, big red, this green candle here that came all the way up here, that closed all the way up here, was once a big red candle down here, and the buyer said, no, go back up. So I've got to be aware of that. But at the moment, the market hasn't broken the structure over here. Have a look. If I was to draw the path is like this, then like this. Then at the moment, we've been dancing around in here with closures, the lowest closure about here. Even though we came up here, we haven't broken that structure yet. We closed in here. I'd like to see a nice closure below these wicks. And then that would give me my indication, correction, continuation. I can choose on a 15-minute time frame to enter this trade here with my stop above the correction for 20 pips. Or if I want to be very safer, my only reason I wouldn't put my stop all the way up here is because, in my opinion, if the price starts coming up here, it's doing what Sister Abana said. It's going to grab the liquidity. So me placing my stop here, who cares if it's going to wick up here somewhere? So I don't know where it's going to wick to. You know, I'm just going to take a random number over here, say like boom, 40 pips, random, on the basis I get a wick, which you can do. Or you can just say, you know what, if you're going to stop me out quickly over here, and then let me wait to see that wick happen and get back in. For me, I'd play here if I get a closure down here. If I don't get a closure down here, then this starts to break this structure and do something else. But then maybe this market does want to quickly take this liquidity first. I'm just looking at what it's done historically. It didn't give a damn about that liquidity. Things change. Definitely things change from then to January. I don't know whether or not there was going to be some red folder GBP news. Sorry, there's going to be red folder. Sorry, this is Euro I'm looking at. Wait. This is Euro I'm looking at. So the bearing of this news probably is only going to be GBP, and how hard GBP has an impact on Euro now, I'm not too sure. Maybe that's something to ask Alan, whether GBP is really still impacting the Euro like it used to. I don't know. So sorry, I was going to be confused. They're still looking at GBP. But yeah, on an EJ premise, I should say, I'm going to trade what I see. So I'm going to pop an alert over here. Alert over here, crossing up. I'm also going to pop an alert down here if this market crosses down. All right, we're having a little push up at the moment, but we shall see. Okay, we shall see. Have a look at our GU. Still, we're respecting this trend and coming down, etc. Cool. Let's have a look at our JER 30. I was testing it before because it was, in my opinion, this made a nice indication, nice correction, nice continuation. And I could see that up in here, this GU that, in my opinion, that it might be this broken structure pushing up in here before it gets bearish also. This is the daily time frame. Let's go to a 4-hour, have a look. On a 4-hour perspective, this market's made push down here, indications, corrections, continuations. Maybe now it wants to make a little retracement, little A, B, C is what I was expecting it to go and at least push up into that imbalance here, up into these levels. But once it gets in there, I will be looking at it like this. Yeah, because in my opinion, this market price has not only been bearish, price has broken out of the trend of this orange track. Now, it hasn't necessarily broken this swing structure. This is my concern. Haven't really broken this swing structure the way I'd like to see a break. So this market could be like, higher high, higher low, higher high, and this be a higher low and it go again. Hence the reason why I'm interested in getting into the buy into this space. Because if, for argument's sake, it doesn't care about turning around in that low, then at that point, it could be a big trade and it could just keep running. All right. You can see it could just keep running. All right. So I am interested in this here at the moment. The market was coming down here, look, making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. Then the boat turned around. Okay. The boat turned around. We can see in here, we can see how the market started to consolidate, go sideways. Let's try and see what that lowest point was. That lowest point was kind of in here. This whole energy was this lowest point. So above here, we've recently got some, if you can look here, some indications above these levels, on the 5-minute time frame. We've got some indications above these levels. This was a closure here. Let's look where this lowest point is here. This was like our first indication here. This candle here. Indication, kind of got a correction, kind of got a continuation. And I think the market's going to keep pushing up. And I would like to take another test trade. The last one was wrong. My lot size was wrong. And this one, my lot size is going to be correct. All right, let's have a look. I'm going to try a little test trade with this one because I really want to buy. I want to buy into that area. I do. I want to buy into that area. I've taken a very small position, taking into consideration some imbalances to buy into that area. My GU still doing okay, running in this direction. Okay. And I'd like to see GU go to hell. I'm not going to lie to you. I would. Yeah. Okay. Anyone, do we want to look at something else? Well, thank you. But sister, has really good observation in EJ anyway, for sure. And look, we're still dancing here. Neither alerts have rung off yet. We're just dancing.
That's my pairs.
Yeah, you do. It's a good pair to be in because you can look at it. I tell you what. Let's have a look at this. I'm going to show you something. Should I delete everything? No, I'm not going to delete everything. I'm going to hide everything. So if we put on this indicator, the kill zones indicator. Oops, what's going on? Just going to put it on kill zones indicator. What this shows us with EJ is that if we get out of here, 15-minute time frame. What it shows us with EJ that even in the Asian sessions, because of the J part of the EJ, this market still has some movement. Nice movements in there. Nice little movement in here. A little bit of a push down in here. Get this push in the Asian sessions early hours in the morning. Now, what does that mean? That means that potentially you can slot EJ into your life when you come home from work and decide you want to look at your charts, late at night. Yeah, maybe you're gonna open your charts and have you look at the charts at midnight, at 1 o'clock. Maybe. Maybe you're in a different time zone and you're able to look at this chart and say, okay, I'm in a different time zone, and I'm able to see because of the Japanese element, the Asian session element, this market still has some movement. So this market kind of just move all the time. Obviously, it moves more other times than others. We can see here every time, London opens, yeah, we start seeing movement. Look, London opened here, we start seeing movement. Boom. Yeah, pushing all the way down here over when New York opened. Look, London opened here, we start seeing movement. Boom, pushing all the way down here. All right. We're seeing we can see London, we can see some energy. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely is a decent pair, and the pair has been very, very bullish. You see, the issue is right now, or what the issue? The question is right now is whether what Alan keeps mentioning to us, the Japanese yen are going to do anything about the fact that their currency has been getting murdered for years against the euro. Like, is there a point? No, there is reason. There is reasons why they like this. Does anybody know any reasons why, Japan may like the fact that their currency is cheap against other currencies? Does anybody have any just possible theories of why the Japanese yen being cheap against other currencies, what it means? And I'm going to get deep on it. I think that the Japanese and that Asian side of the world are very tactical in the things that they do. They are not by accident going into all the Caribbean countries and deciding to build them roads. They're not by accident going there and, suggesting that they'll build this hospital and they'll build that hospital. I think they have a very long-term view, goals, about what they want to do in the world. And if my currency is cheaper to other currencies, what does that make the world do? Especially if I produce made in Japan, made in China, made in these type of areas here, like, especially if, I produce stuff, the whole world, everybody is, knows the whole world that China is the production house for the world. Yeah. And that kind of space. Am I lying? I mean, everything here is made in China. We can get, I could probably get a version of your car made for 30 pence out of China, with an email or two. Yeah, I can get a sample sent to me.
Not here where I am in Zimbabwe. I've been out to the gold mines, and listen, the Chinese have come in vast numbers, and they're digging. Apparently, they're saying they're digging for like tin, copper, and what have you. But what they're actually doing is digging underneath and going into other people's mines and taking their platinum, their gold, and their diamonds. Listen, these people they're dread.
I'm telling you, and across the board, it's not a one-off. It's a common theme. I remember when I went Dominica, which was a while back, yeah, and I know it's worse now. They was a feature there, man. So a lot of Chinese is there setting up their shops. They got the pound shops. They got the little trainer shops selling fake trainers for real prices. Yeah, I'm telling you, they're there, and you've got to understand, from a resource perspective. And I don't know the stats on it, but I'm going to say out loud is maybe their country is not necessarily resource rich the way other countries such as Africa, such as, Caribbean, etc. And they are running out of space. Yeah. So they can take a long-term view of how they can take, just like the colonies, just like the British colony, how we went and colonized different places and pretended like all their assets and resources were our resources because they're a British colony. Yeah. These Chinese are not dumb. Yeah. And I'm just saying, when they've got the whole world hooked on their products, People, we've been buying stuff from China like crazy. Alibaba's been a feature. Boom, boom, boom. Go get it made in China, man. It's cheap. It's cheap. Now that would change, right? If all of a sudden the Japanese currency got magnificently expensive. People are not going to be able to say anymore, it's cheap. They'll be like, right, it's kind of expensive, bro. Can't get that made in China or wherever it may be. So I don't know whether or not this is their angle. They're like, maybe their economy does better, keeping everyone active, keeping the work, keeping the whole being the engine of the world. I don't know. It's just a theory. Yeah, because this scenario, obviously it's EJ, but this has been happening. This has been going on for a long time. We've seen other countries. We know that there's fiscal measures that can be taken to try to counteract this. I.e., you can tell me one fiscal measure that other governments do to try and, strengthen their currency. You can tell me one. You can tell me something that happen, we saw extensively how the United States did it and other countries use it. Does anybody know? Does anybody know?
Yeah, is it increased interest rates?
Yeah, they can use interest rates like a little crossfader to try and be like, if we increase that, makes our currency stronger, worth more for people to have their money in our currency. They could do that to try and strengthen their currency up, but it's like they've been a bit, Alan would love me for dovish, yeah, in regards to, taking these measures. Now, there has been rumors and whispers, and I'm sure Alan will be able to tell us more about them potentially getting, having enough, deciding they're going to do something, get a bit more hawkish. We haven't seen nothing too dramatic as yet. Or maybe we have seen things that are dramatic, but the world is like, I don't care. We don't care. We don't believe it.
Yeah, that's coming. Grand Rising, all. That is coming with the Japanese. Their next interest rates are going to be, that's going to be fireworks. However, I think immediately for us is the French elections, which is around the same time as our elections. I think someone asked about elections yesterday, and I put something in the group a week or so ago. Listen, there's been many elections this year, and you've got a coalition in India, a coalition in South Africa. All these things matter, really, really matter to us. People trying to be insular, but we can't be. We live in the world, so we have to trade with each other. The Japanese will intervene in their currency. You just won't see it. You just feel it. If you're in it, it's either you're in it and you're riding the wave, or the wave's going to batter you. That happened a few weeks ago, if you can recall. Regards to elections, the French elections going to be pivotal to the euro. So anyone I said who Euro USD. Listen, if the French National get in, I think they call another name, it's going to destabilize the euro. I know Le Pen has been trying to, be sentimental, which is really, really important to kind of stabilize the market. And that has taught me the market runs the show, right? These prime ministers and these leaders need to make sure they got the market on their side, or they will lose. Yeah. So watch that space. Today, Bank of England, I think you mentioned it, Jay. Bank of England, they won't, interest rates going to remain the same. However, yeah, with inflation coming down to the 2% target, let's see who are the dissenters. Basically, it's a panel. Yeah, there's a panel of people that vote for the interest rates and they give their reasons. Yeah. So some will say, no, we dissent. Some will say, yeah, we will stay, interest rates stay the same. We need to see how many dissenters are on there. That's the important thing. That's what the traders are looking for. If we see, 5 or 6 dissenters who basically say, no, interest rates should be cut, you'll see the pound strengthen. Okay, so yeah, that so that's going to be interesting. Also, 130, you got the American every data point is an important data point for the American employment. As I said about employment, that gives you a good indication of the economy. Any questions, anybody? Sorry to jump in, Jay.
No, I love when you jump in, my bro. It's fantastic. Let me ask you questions. What other key indicators indicate the strength of an economy? So we've got jobs.
You got jobs, you got employment, unemployment. If unemployment is down, 3%, the economy is strong. If they're creating jobs, if jobs are being created and hours worked, remember they looked at the hours that are worked. If that is strong as well, the economy is strong. GDP, gross domestic product, if that's over 2%, anything above is great. Anything below, if it's got minus, if it's minus 2/4, then there is recession. But GDP, unemployment, house prices as well. There's so many different indicators for the economy, but gross domestic product gives you the overall indication of how an economy is doing. But jobs is really vital. If the unemployment starts ticking up, there's problems with the economy. The Americans, they thought, as I said to you, non-farm payroll, they thought their jobs are going to come in at 180,000. It came up 270,000, I think it was. Over the 200,000 mark, way above, they thought. So it shows the economy is very, very strong. However, I believe that unemployment is trickling up. So the Fed will have their eye on that.
So, whilst Alan was giving me that, I asked my friend ChatGPT the same question. And I can confirm that Alan's answer was better than ChatGPT. So he may be AI. It's possible Alan could be artificial intelligence.
It's just been plugged in, my brother, being plugged in. I think all data points are important. I used to have it on just the Red Folder News, but I've got it on all the Folder News because they do little things. Yeah, especially Treasury, selling Treasury yield seems to move the market at 6p. So, but it depends on, what you're looking at. However, every data point is really, really important.
So I want to move on our sessions to being able to take this knowledge and make it applied knowledge. And I'm thinking to myself, what would be great is if we apply this knowledge and start doing more research into what this overall sentiment of the market could do to stock prices, and to make sure that us as a family have some sort of footings, whatever money you can manage, whether that's 50 quid, whether that's 500 grand, whether that's 5 million, some sort of stock investments based upon our overall outlooks, okay? Over on you. So what we're going to start doing is we're going to start doing some more stuff in regards to trading stocks. We're going to have a fantastic foundation to also put small amounts of money into stocks. Now, we're going to mostly be looking at maybe investments, short, medium, long-term investments. And what I mean by that, I just mean to be able to get yourself in the headspace of saying, we've looked at this, we'd like to buy NVIDIA, but only when it gets down to that price. When it does get down to that price, we should buy some. Is NVIDIA going to make you rich and famous overnight? Probably not. Probably not. Okay, it's probably not going to make you rich and famous overnight. EJ's just ringing there, that he's waiting for it to ring. Let's have a look. All right. However, is it a great opportunity for us to start using our applied knowledge? Have a look on a 50-minute time frame. This is closing in 6 minutes. I did say I'm not going to allow this liquidity over here to stop me from taking the trade, because previously it didn't go for the liquidity first, sister. So though I've got that alert in here, it hasn't closed on a 15-minute time frame or a 5-minute time frame. We're just getting these wicks. And let me take, this is what's so interesting. I'm saying something. I'm saying that the market is thinking about potentially going up, grabbing that liquidity or not. And we're seeing the candles play into that narrative. Like this wick stuff coming here and then shooting back up here. Coming down here and shooting back up here. Coming down here and the candle hasn't closed, but shooting back up here. It's saying that to you. Can you see this wick stuff happening over here? It wasn't happening over here. It wasn't happening over here. Wasn't happening back here, this wick stuff. But all of a sudden, we're getting to that point where we're making a decision of whether or not we're going to be going in this bearish direction and making a big old retracement before deciding what we're going to do, or this liquidity based upon this news happening and there's stuff happening in the world, etc. All of a sudden, we're seeing this conversational argument happening. But like I said, I am not going to stop from letting me take the trade. I'm just going to manage my risk. I'm not going to place I'm telling you guys for what I'm doing. I'm not going to place my stop up here for 30 pips, because if I believe the market goes up here, it's going to wick up here, and I don't know how big that wick's going to be. So I'll just be guessing. Yeah, I'm just saying I'm going to put 50 pips stop on it, which might be enough. To be fair, it might be enough, but I just don't trade like that. Just putting a random number stop. Yeah, I'd prefer to get stopped out here above these highs. And then if the market pushes past here, then I'm going to wait, compose myself and watch it turn around and it for actually be a liquidity grab, opposed to it doing something else and just going up into space. All right. So have a look here on the 5-minute time frame. We've got 4.5 minutes before this candle closes. On the 15-minute time frame, we've got the same 4.5 minutes before it closes. If we get a nice 15-minute closure down here, I'd be happy about that, because that 15-minute closure will also be a 5-minute closure. And then I'll be able to take this trade with my stop above these highs, my spread times 2. It's looking like about 25 pips. All right. It's looking like about 25 pips. Now, I could go harder than that, more aggressive than that. If this market retraces and then comes back down and closes below that, that's going to be my choice. But the safer choice, I'd say, would be above this high. I'm not taking this high for the simple fact that if we go there, especially with stuff going on today, it could spike up here. So what's the point? Where am I placing my stop? I don't know. It's just going to be a guess. Whereas at least here I can say this is above this high. Or if I want to be very aggressive, if this market comes and does a retracement here on a 5-minute time frame and then closes down below, I could say I'm taking an aggressive entry below whatever high that's going to be. So I'm watching at the moment, keeping an eye on it. It's a potential trade. Anyone who is looking at trades is something that could potentially happen. Historically, it happened, and historically, it ran all the way back down to 50% of the initial impulse. 50% of the initial impulse in this example is that green dotted line. I'm going to make a nice thick green target of a line. If I can find my colors, there. And that happens to be after a big imbalance here, which I believe is a 4-hour or 8-hour imbalance, which is what a coinky think. Actually, it's not a 4-hour, it's an 8-hour. It's a big 8-hour imbalance sitting in here. So it would make sense it coming down there, even if the market actually wants to go up. All right. But I'm just saying to you, even though it wants to go up the overall picture, don't get twisted. From where we currently are to all the way down into these levels is a 100 pip trade. If you get a good entry in there, 10 pips, 20 pips, that's 1 to 5, 1 to 10. That's a fantastic trade. Yeah. That's a challenge passing trade. Okay. Or profitable, highly profitable. So I'm waiting. We're going to see. We've got our alerts in there. They're going to be my eyes and ears in the market. And yeah, GU is still doing what it needs to do. Like I said to you, I am bearish on it, and I have been in it from quite early, my GU. My positions are all risk-free, but I'm trying something with it of just letting that trade run and see whether or not. Look, have a look here in this impulse here. Remember, these lines are just guides. But if I use this as a guide, actually, let me try and draw it a bit better. If I use it as a guide, maybe I want this market to get down into these levels first before I start getting really concerned. Okay. Maybe I want this market to get down into these levels before I start getting concerned. When it gets down into those levels, ideally, I'd like to see it make equal lows and beyond. Yeah, I'd like to see it make equal lows and, and beyond. That's what I'm hoping for based upon a bigger picture, a bigger Russian doll of this market indicating, correcting, and from this premium area. Am I making sense? Have all of those 3 points, 4 points made sense to why I'm taking this stance? I'm saying that this market here, GU, is in a premium on that yellow line. See? I'm saying that the market came up there and was dancing sideways very close to that premium, and then wicked up and had a liquidity grab, got all of its provisions it needs to go on its journey. It went on its journey. Boom, 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 doing good work. And when it broke the structure and it thought the close was clear, it said, let me just catch my breath, go back over here, make sure everyone's good, make sure the whole team's good. Made a retracement. And at this point in time, guys, it's nightfall. Now it's time for us to continue our journey. Let's go. I want to see this journey continue. I want to see equal lows and beyond. And if I was to draw a bigger line when this breaks structure, hopefully, then this line here that I've got here will change like this. Can't change yet because I haven't broken that structure, but it will change like this. And then hopefully I can see that market continuing to go down and do great things. But at the moment, that's just my idea. It's not a fact. It's my idea and it's my narrative for this market. Okay. EJ, again, similar, because EJ and GU, they have this relationship. If you look at them on top of each other, or sometimes they follow each other, yeah, like the candy dance, and other times they detach and they do something different. And like I said, the bigger picture of EJ is it's a bullish market, has been. The question is, even if this wants to go up, is it going to first go down before this? That's the question. Is that my EJ ringing? Something ringing. Oh no, that's my, have a look. It's my GU going to hell. Fantastic. All right. I'm in 4 figures in my GU at the moment. Was a trade that, to be fair, I held overnight. Okay. And it's going to hell. And we're breaking structure, which is great to see. Okay. And after we break structure and it's still moving, I am expecting some sort of retracement. But I'm in it so early and my stop is in a good place that I'm ride those retracements. Obviously making my trade completely risk-free, but ride those retracements, see if we can A, get down to the bottom of this range, this blue range, but B, I really want to see, I really want to see these equal lows and beyond. That's my goal. I'm trying to touch my trades less. Don't know if you guys have noticed. I'm trying to touch my trades less. Just let nature take its course with them. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, man. I'm good. I just have a look at that EJ that we was waiting for. You know, I said I'm not going to let it dictate the liquidity dictate what I'm going to do. I'm going to read and react. At the moment, we've got an indication. This here, tick. We've got a correction, tick, and the structure hasn't been broken. All of this stuff here at the moment is part of the continuation, but it's fraff at the moment. It's mucking about. So if we close down here, cool. That would be my continuation with my stop above these highs. Cool. All right. If we don't, then maybe we're going for that liquidity first, or maybe we're just ramping. But either way, you see how I stay safe as a trader because of my strategy, because I'm waiting for a close. Let me tell you something else. The novice trader hit the button here when it was a big red candle. The novice trader hit the button here when it was a big red candle. Furthermore, he missed out on that one. He saw another big red candle here. He hit the button here. Now, he's taking a doo-doo. He's like, oh my God. Because he simply didn't wait for the candle to close. You see it? So when JJ is telling you wait for your candle to close, don't think you're smarter than me, you know. And you're going to be like, it's just about to close. Let me just hit the button. No, that's what happened here. And then now look where the market is. You've hit stop loss ultimately, or you're about to. Wait for candles to close. Whatever time frame you're looking at that market at, where that structure is, wait for that candle to close. And when that closure comes, this is one thing that is a bit difficult, and I will say it's a bit difficult, is that because of all of these different brokers, they give you slightly different candles, which doesn't really happen in the futures market, which I will say, is that when closures are close, like you're looking at this wick here and the closure is just a little bit below the closure, that's when it starts to get a little bit blurry. Because you're like, is that really a closure below that low? Or is that just because of Owanda's giving me some dud candles? So really the closures you want are, you know, definite closures below the low. Like this is definitely below that wick or below that candle. When it gets quite close, sometimes I've been sucked in because it's like you want it to be a close, like you've got that bias, like, yeah, that looks like I'm taking it because you just want to get in the trade. But when you really look back on it afterwards, you're like, that wasn't really a closure. So what I would say to yourself is make sure that you can see the closure clean on your trading view, but more importantly, clean also on your broker, on your MT5. That's at least 2 confirmations from 2 completely different places. If one of them is looking like a closure, the other one's not, you're like, yeah, I'd say wait for another candle to really close below that level. Look at this. Like I said, look at this ramping. Yeah. Guys, absolutely fantastic. Lovely session. Good energy this session. Yeah, as always, to be fair. And, you know, I just think to myself, you know, what's the effect of having this good energy, these blessings? What's the compound effect of having them every single morning? You know, waking up, catching a little smile, learning something. What's the compound effect of that? You know, I'm going to say what I said earlier. You know, in 10 years, even in 5 years, but let's just say in 10 years' time, everybody here on this call is going to be someone. The question is who? Who are you going to be? Because if you are not intentional about who you're going to be, then you're leaving it to the wind. All right. You are leaving it to the wind to take you wherever you want to wherever you want to do. If you're not intentional about who you're going to be, I'm going to be physically fit. But if you don't start going to the gym, stop eating, you know, cheeseburgers from McDonald's, 10 years time, you're not going to be that person. I'm going to be a trader. Well, if you're not putting in the work, you're not committed, in 5, 10 years time, you're not going to be that person. I'm going to be a loving husband and this, that, and the other. I'm going to have a family. Well, if you're not out here dating with intention, if you're not out here looking for a wife instead of looking for a big booty, you're not going to be that person. And it's quite simple and quite obvious when you think about it. But just think about how many things did you do intentionally? Have you done intentionally in your life? Ooh. Sorry if I say it and you can't think of anything. Well, it stings. Well, it stings. It's meant for you. How many things? Look, remember when we was at school? School was we intentionally was going to school every single day so that we could take an exam and get a grade. Everybody here took an exam and got a grade. Because you was going every single day in your uniform and turning up at 9 o'clock or whatever time you have to be at school every single day until you got to exam time. Intentional. You know, there's something that you want to do right now. I want to have an e-commerce business. I want to have a property business. I want to have some investments. I want to have X amount of money in the back. Listen, same way with the school thing. If you are not intentional about taking steps in that direction, whether that be getting the information, whether that be doing the research, whether that be surrounding yourself with the right people, you are not going to be. Look, it's not that you might. You are not going to be that person in 5, 10 years' time. I'm sorry. You want to be a rapper. You want to be a musician. What if you're not putting in the work, getting proper tracks under your belt, homing your craft, making sure you're surrounding yourself with the right people, making sure that when you actually have a show, that your shows are not swag, that they're actually good shows because you've practiced, you know how to control the crowd, and you're doing more than what the other people are doing. Let me say that again. You're doing more than what your other people are doing. Because if you're doing the average, you get the average. Because your peers are maybe not intentionally trying to be financially free. They're just going to work, keeping it stepping, hoping that they can catch a holiday and maybe, go carnival this year. And you know what's going to happen? Let me tell you exactly what's going to happen with those people. They are going to go to carnival. They are going to catch a holiday this year. They are going to go to work and get paid and pay the bills. Why? Because they've been intentional about it. They said that's what they want to do. They know that that's what they want to do this year. All I'm trying to say is, what will happen if you intentionally move the bar? I'm talking to somebody. I don't know how many people are on the call right now. I am talking to somebody.
I'm here.
What will happen if you intentionally move the bar and say, I don't just want, I'm gonna be, let me keep it like this. And then you can call it manifesting, you can call it whatever you want to call it. Whatever car I wanted when I was younger, I got. I remember a time, yeah, when I was young, I was a young buck on the come up. And I just wanted to run around. I just needed to keep moving. So I can go raves and do whatever I'm doing out. And then I made some money. And I went from wanting a Fiesta to I wanted a Golf these days. I wanted a Golf, like GTI or something. I was like, yes, that's what I wanted. I made a little money now. I'm like, that's what I wanted. In fact, tell a lie, when I was looking at the Fiesta, I was like, oh, God, it's a bit dud though. Like, really, I'd like a Golf because I'll be the man. Golf. Then I made that money. I was like, I could get a Golf. So I'm gonna go get a Golf still. But when I made that money, I was like, nah, I want something else. And I'm telling you, whatever it is I put my eye on, 16 going, oh, I want a Rolls Royce Cullinan. I wasn't. I was like, I want this vehicle, and that's the vehicle I got. And then I said, I'm going to go get BMW, and that's the vehicle I got. Because I was intentional about that. Whether that means that you're saving your money, whether that means that you're only looking at that sort of thing, whether that means that you're attracting that type of energy to you, my intentions was that's what I wanted. I'm saying to you, and if you think about your own life, it's the same. You said you wanted to live in a certain area. You probably live in that area. You said that you wanted, with that party that was coming up to you, wanted to be fly, you wanted to make sure that you was wearing all black and it to be this, that, and other and be fresh. When you got to that party, you was all in black and you was fresh. I'm just saying, what happens if you intentionally move the bar and go, I want to make $1 million, or I want to become this, or I don't want that average car, I want this car. Or I don't want to just, go to Carnival. I want to have my own float in Carnival. I want to have my own company. Or just intentionally move the bar. Because once you do that, then you're going to be working towards that. And even if you're working slow, even if other people think you're working slow, oh, you said you was going to do that, blah, 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 blah. That's their bit. You're working at the pace that you're working at. Once you can look yourself in the mirror and be like, yeah, I'm working at that pace, it's an intentional action. Because like I tell you, 10 years or 5 years will go like that. And when somebody sees you again, go, rah, Jiva, what's that? Rolls Royce, yeah? Rah. How did you go from whipping that to whipping that? You just moved the bar. You just said, you just stopped saying that I wanted a BMW. You just said, I don't want a BMW. So you walked and you took Uber until you got your Rolls Royce because you intentionally decided. And this is not just about finances. In my opinion, it's about anything, but just that I think, and it's easy to do, we're human beings. It's easy to do with not being intentional about your actions. I can only talk about myself, and I don't talk about myself just from a praised big head perspective, but I can only talk about myself. I go to the gym, not because I'm trying, and I don't think I look like I'm ready to compete. There's guys out here who are, ripped to shreds. I go to the gym intentionally because I understand that my job and my lifestyle isn't me outside moving bricks all day long or climbing up and down. I sit down in my life. If I don't go to the gym and move, I don't want to be that brethren that I saw the other day from school. And I saw him, I was like, rah, bro, long time, man. I ain't seen you in time, bro. You put on a little bit of weight, bro. Jeez, what's that? Shoes with Velcro, rah, bro. And how many chins you got, bro? Mad. I don't even know where your guy's going to put your goatee, bro, because you got 4 chins. I'm crazy. I don't want to be that guy. And for my own health, I want to be around for my sons for as long as possible. And I want to be active. I want to be able to go and play football with him and do certain things. I see certain people, no disrespect, because I'm not pointing at anybody, but they're massive. And you've got kids, you can't even run with your kids when you're trying to teach your kid to ride a bike. You can't even run alongside the bike and help him, make sure he doesn't fall over. And that didn't happen overnight. That happened because they wasn't intentional about what it is they wanted to achieve. Because they said, no, I want to be able to ride bike and run with my son. They just wouldn't be sitting there getting massive all day long eating kebab. I'm sorry, it sounds cruel, but it's the truth. Think about it. If that was your plan, you wouldn't do that. So even if you take a little step, because someone's going to turn and say, but Jay, you're not Arnold Schwarzenegger. I know, I'm not Arnold Schwarzenegger, but I go to the gym intentionally every single day to maintain, to take steps in the direction that I want to go. You invest right now. If you started investing in Nvidia or Coca-Cola or Apple or whatever it may be, you're not Warren Buffett. You're not ready to start, looking at helicopters. You're making steps in the direction you want to go. You're intentional about, I invest. When you hear these guys on the podcast saying, I invest and I invest in this, and you don't know how much they've invested. You don't know if it's 50 quid. They can still have really good advice. Alan still has really good advice. Whether or not he's going to turn around and say from his advice he's made hundreds of millions. You don't know. It's none of your business. Because it doesn't, it's relative, isn't it? How much money you have to invest. That doesn't mean, just because you've got more money than somebody else, doesn't mean that you're more of an investor than somebody else, just because you've got more money than them. So what happens is that when you're intentional now about doing certain things, when you get your chance, when you get your opportunity, when something lands in your lap, when you make that money, when somebody leaves you some money from probate or whatever it may be, or you hit the lottery or you get a raise, you now are intentional about what you're going to do with your resources. You know. You don't not know. You're trying to work out a way to spend your money, work out a way to spend your time, work out a way to spend your holiday. You know what you're doing. Oh, I've got a week off work. Wicked. I'm going to relax, but I'm also going to continue writing my book. Because I said that I want to write a book by X age. So you're going to go sit on the beach. Instead of you just sitting on the beach and looking at the sky, you're going to sit on the beach because you need some rest and recreation, but you're also going to write your book. That's the only way it's going to get done. Just about being intentional, guys. And I definitely feel like within our community, we're really not intentional. We're very reactive to what's going on in the world. Yeah, we don't have a plan. The Chinese man have a plan. He's not in Dominica selling £1 stuff out of the shop because he's got nothing better to do. He knows what go on. He's like, okay, I'm going to come and set up my shop, my pound shop first. Raise my family over here. It's a lovely country. There's fruits and the sun's shining all the time. It's much better than where it came from. But I'm definitely bringing over. Uncle's going to come over because I can see these guys over here. They don't really know how to do business. They ain't setting up shops like we set up shops. They don't have a pipeline to cheap goods and cheap trainers and cheap clothes like we've got a pipeline. So I'm going to bring over Mei Ling and Fu Yong and my other cousin. And before you know it, we're going to run this strip. And that's what happens. We've seen it happen in the UK. Man come over with intention, with a plan. Before you know it, 5-10 years time, a whole community is in an area. That's an accident. When they're over in their country and they go, oh, what area should we want to, we want to go to the UK, what area? They say, yeah, Ilford, man. Come Ilford, man. We've got a really strong community there, man. There's a mosque there, there's this, that, and other. Boom, boom, boom. Before you know it, 5-10 years time, Ilford is theirs. And I don't have a problem with that because it makes sense to me that your community has a plan. I'm envious of other communities that do that. The Jewish community, the Chinatown, and this, that, and the third. I'm just asking, is there a Caribbean town somewhere I can go to? Where I can just get Caribbean food? Does anybody know one? Somebody know one, please? Does anybody know one? Caribbean town or an area whereby
Would you say a Caribbean town?
I'm just saying, bro, there's a Chinatown and there's areas that I can go to other communities whereby they dominate that community. But when I go there, all their shops are just from their community. I'm just asking as somebody that lives in the UK for all of my life, is there somewhere that our community can go?
Brixton would be the place I think of.
Brixton? I don't know.
I think Wembley's for like the Asians.
I'm just saying everywhere. And in my opinion, it starts with having a plan. It definitely, there's deeper, it's a much deeper conversation I'm sure we can have in regards to even a religion, even, that place that we congregate, that place that we meet. It's much deeper than that, but I'm just saying, we have to have a long-term view. a plan. We have to have a plan that's bigger than ourselves. You know what I mean? We have to look at it like, okay, what is this going to be doing for my kids? Like, I had a meeting with somebody the other day who is an old friend who used to work as an estate agent, and they had a very comfortable life as an estate agent. Okay. They had no plan beyond being an estate agent and paying bills, going on nice holidays, enjoying what they're doing. Their life changed substantially when they have now been made redundant. And it's not so much the fact that they can't go and get another job. It's just more say the reality of, oh, okay, my comfortable, secure life is actually not that secure. COVID did it. But I think a lot of people have slightly forgotten about COVID. Because I know that there's people probably on this call, or people that at least the people on this call know that when COVID was happening, oh, everybody's was like that. Heart was in their mouth, you know, beating hard, not sure what they're going to do. And all of a sudden, we saw people within our community become entrepreneurs, want to learn how to trade, want to learn e-commerce, want to do more because they realize, man's safe, comfortable life actually isn't that safe. It's mad. People are getting laid off left, right, and center. That's a good thing. It put man out of their comfort zone. And all of us, and from them, we've seen businesses, we've seen traders, we've seen people do certain things. I think now man are slipping back into comfort. The employers are started employing again, hiring, giving you a little job, blah, 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 blah. And I'm saying that's okay. But I'm just saying to you, for our community, and I'm talking about my community, yeah? And like I said to you, I am definitely not anti any other community. I'm just pro my own community, yeah? I just think to yourself that we have to have a plan. So where does that plan come from? I don't know. Especially if we're not controlling our religion and these conversations are not happening in a place where we all congregate. Yeah. But we have to have this long-term view of what it is that we're trying to achieve, because 5-10 years time goes like that in no time. And then it's the next generation. Like, is our generation, can we honestly say, in fact, I heard a statistic the other day, and I think it's predominantly coming out of the United States, that our community is the fastest growing investors at the moment. That's what I heard. That our community now is and I think that is great statistic. It means that, you know, a large percentage of us are going, we don't have anything. We need to start doing this. Doesn't mean we're the largest community investing. It just means the growth of a community that's now getting involved. Yeah, it means that, you know, these younger generations or generations, whoever it may be, because I don't know, that don't have the numbers, are now going, man, yeah, bro, damn, we don't have any investments, or we don't do anything, and learning these new skills, which is tremendous. It's amazing. You see, my problem that I was having when I was listening to the conversation was about how many of us are investing in companies and other things and blah, 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 blah. And I think to myself, like, it's still kind of a problem. Because now all it really means now is the little disposable money that we have, we are investing in other families that don't look like us. And the question is what would happen if we invested in our own community? Because us investing in Apple is not investing in our community. Us investing in NVIDIA has got nothing to do with us. Like, what do we have to turn around and be like, you know what? We are going to invest in NVIDIA. We are going to invest in Apple, but I am going to put a small percentage in here, in this company, in this initiative, in this church, in this, you know, community center, in this business, in this school. You see it? So, like I said to you, just think about being intentional, guys. And it's easy for me to say in just in a Zoom meeting, but I know for certain. You see how when you look out your window right now and you see that there's roads, you see that the houses are all the same style. You see that there's water coming to the house, gas coming to the house, electric. That wasn't an accident. That wasn't like someone just threw all the bricks and sand and wires up in the air and it just landed and there was roads and streets and houses. That was somebody had a plan. He said, we're going to build a city here. This is going to be the roads. Don't you ever think to yourself how amazing it is that there's a highway, there's like a road that there's an A406 and that there's an A127 running from one place to another place. Like engineering, if you really think about it, it's amazing, isn't it? Like just deep it, how amazing it is. Like the same time you're standing where you're standing, there's trains going underneath you in a tunnel.
The infrastructure.
The infrastructure. There's trains going underneath you in a tunnel, and your house isn't falling down because somehow they worked out that they dug deep enough or put in enough structure that your house ain't gonna fall down, and you've got trains going underneath you, and you've got pipelines, and when you take a doo-doo and you hit flush, the doo-doo just disappears and goes somewhere. Like, think about this. This is man, woman, man, people, humans, planning, being intentional.
Efficient.
What did you say?
Inefficient.
Exactly. You know, executing on their ideas. And like I said to you, all I'm saying to us, to you and to myself, I'm talking out loud, guys. Breakfast Club is my therapy as well. Talk out loud. Is what thing are you planning and executing on? What is your intentional action that you are doing? Let me tell you, people tell me, say, you know, I want to have a family. And most people, unless they have medical reasons why they can't have kids. Have kids. Do you get what I'm saying? Like whatever you want, you get. Think about it. Whatever you want, you get. It's just the question is, what do you want? That's it. That's all you got to ask yourself. What is it that you actually want? Because a lot of people don't know. I'm telling you, you'll be shocked and amazed. Ask somebody. Go randomly, ask one of your friends. Say, listen, I'll tell you what, I've got 100 grand. I'm going to give you 100 grand. What are you going to do? Or I'm going to say you can never work again, stop working. What are you going to do? They would be like, I'm going to definitely need a holiday. Like, they don't know. So if you think to yourself that we are more as human beings, we're more than watching TV, we're more than work, we're more than going and chasing bits of paper so that we can say we've got shiny things, that we have a purpose. So if I could allow you to pursue your purpose, what would it be? And there's no wrong answer. This is what the funniest thing is. There's no wrong answer to the question. Whatever you say is the right answer. But I'm just saying most people just don't know what they're going to say. Is it going to be, I just want to raise a beautiful family and leave the world with a beautiful, I don't know. If that is your answer, that's your answer. I can't tell you, that's a shit answer. That's your answer. But I'm saying to you, majority of people have just sleepwalk through life. They just let life them. They let the government decide this is what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. This is where you're going to live. This is the kind of clothes you should wear. This is the type of food you should eat because I put one in every single corner and I make sure it's open 24 hours. So that's the food you're going to eat. Think about it, yo. It's deep. And you have to be intentional about saying, I'm not going to eat that stuff. I don't care if it's at every single corner. I don't care if when I go out, that's what they're serving. I'm not going to eat that. So many people know, for example, McDonald's. We've seen all the memes. We've seen all the information. It's not food. It's bad food. It's nonsense. Still eat it. You still eat it. Still have a cheeky McDonald's. It's mad. It's as mad as people that smoke for me. Just no disrespect to anybody who smokes. But it's mad that you can pick up the box and the box could say that this kills you, have black lungs and all type of madness, and you've got a family that you love and you still go out and have a smoke.
True. It's mad still when you think about it, fam. It is actually mad. It is. It's the psychology.
It's crazy, yo. It's not like they're trying to hide it. They say, once upon a time, they used to say smoking was cool and it was good for you. Once upon a time, they used to have baseball players and football players saying, oh, smoking, it makes you cool. And that's their marketing. They had to change that marketing and actually tell you. That's why you don't see. When was the last time you saw a cigarette advert on TV? They're not allowed. They're not allowed to have cigarette adverts. That's why the whole conspiracy and the whole thing was about these cigarette companies getting into vaping, because vaping was a bit of a gray area and they could make out that vaping's so cool. Look at this vape, it flashes and stuff like that. In other countries, you're going to see vaping adverts. Not so much maybe in the UK, but you are. And it's like, oh, look, the cigarette industry has just got a new way of advertising their thing. It's a pathway to smoking, isn't it? Regardless, however you want to look at it for kids. But the reality is, man are showing you that this thing's bad for you, and just because you're not intentional about what you want to achieve, because what you want to achieve is be around for your family, surely. I mean, I don't know, maybe some people don't, but I'm saying surely. But yeah, man will still go and smoke a cigarettes. Man will get sick, get cancer or lung cancer, or maybe, and I get it. You're gonna die of something. I've heard people say that, but man, I'm gonna die of something, bro. Man, gotta live. I hear you, bro. I'm not disputing that. Just live intentionally. Just live on your own terms. You want to stay around for your kids for as long as possible. Those are your terms, not my terms, your terms. So act in that way, conducive to achieving that goal. That's it. It sounds complicated, but it's not. It's so simple. Good morning, good morning, good morning. God bless. That was my little rant. And I hope that maybe I said something to somebody that's going to make them do something great today, or do something great this month, or do something great this year. You know?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we're all capable. And sometimes I think you have to be told. You have to hear it. Sometimes we forget, I think. Sometimes we forget who we are, forget what we're capable of. Sometimes, man, you just forget how handsome you are, Jiva. You just forget how you know, intellectual and clever you are, Alan. And sometimes you just forget the queen that you are. You know, and sometimes I think you need to be told. You need to be reminded.
That's the benefits of being part of a community.
Exactly. Think about how many people that you may know that get depressed. Depression's a real thing. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. But if you are told every single day that you're rubbish, or you're stupid, or you're not good enough, or you go to work and the guy's mugging you up every single day, you know what? After a while, some people start believing it.
True.
Before you know it, then people are hanging from the light, took their life, jumped in front of a train because they think to themselves that they don't have value. Those people, I wish I could have got to those people before and say, you know what, you got value, you know? Like, you can actually do whatever you want to do. Don't. That little girl who she was the different looking girl to everybody. No, the girl didn't want to look different. But when she was growing up, it was her biggest, you know, she wanted to change it more than anything, to the point where she took her life, or she was miserable. You know, like, we need to know that we're capable of all things. Yeah. And, you know, delusion is only delusion.
We have to remember our greatness. We come from greatness.
There you go.
We have so much potentiality that we haven't even tapped into yet. And these are the things that we're here to do. And like I always say, you know, I give so much love and gratitude to you, JP, because this journey for me in the 4 years has been so beautiful. And I'm still on the journey, still learning, still looking at ways of bringing the communities globally together.
I love that, sis, because that,
and
for
I
me,
give credit to the I.
No, I give credit to you, because you lot, I'll just be here with my jacks if you lot weren't here. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you lot, like, for me, the trading is just a pathway for me to have for me to have friends like you lot. That's how I see it. Trading is just like a vice that we can come together. But the reality is that it's more than that. It's more than that. It's like, now I know that we're a community now. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like religion. Like people believe in that one book, and they go to a one place and sit and pray around that one book. But it's more than just praying around the one book, isn't it? It's now, you know, this person and that person and this person, and you talk to that person and you help that person, and you might even go to their house for a look of food, and you might be able to give them employment because your job is, you get it. It's stemmed around, we're all here for this book.
At the same time as well, your analogies on the morning, I mean, are so great, because it leads into other things. Like you say, you mentioned investing, how we invest. I mean, you mentioned looking at self, you know, how far we've come. You know, you also help us as well, because you monitor, you ask us questions, how far are you in the journey? What do you find difficult? So these things all help towards growth and looking at things from a different perspective. I mean, and one thing, beloved, you have to learn to accept, you know, compliments.
Thank you.
Yeah. you must accept these compliments because you are a stepping stone and a foundation for many of us here in unity now.
Thank you. Do you know what? Do you know what I use this for? I plan to. I got an ego. I got a big head. I plan to do what I'm doing on a much bigger scale, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, life has been life for me as well, and certain things are happening. But you know what? This is like training for me. It's like me going like, I can't not get on a mic and be able to teach somebody how to trade or talk in the way I talk because I've been doing it every single morning for the last how many years. It's like training for me. I'm gonna be honest with you. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, it's like I'm homing my skills because I know when I put myself out there now, and I've been getting loads of offers for come and do this podcast or that podcast or certain things, and it's not like I put them off. I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to say that it's like when the time is right, the time is right. You understand what I'm saying? And for me, I have other things going on as well. But I'm telling you, this is my training because when I stand up, if I ask you guys for testimonies, I know that I can say Sister Abana or not even testimonies. I know Sister Abana can take the mic and tell people about what happens every single morning with her chest, with honesty, with truth, with integrity. Do you understand what I'm saying? I know when I hear G-Van's doing something and he's taking his trade with me, I'm like, Jeeves, I'm happy that you're taking that step forward. I don't care whether or not you blow your account, you don't blow your account. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm happy to be able to do those type of things because I want to do it on a bigger scale and I want to be the best. You know, and it's nice to think, yeah, I was doing this 10 years ago. I'm 20 years old and it is what it is. I'm not. It wasn't 20 years ago. I'm here now. Yeah. And I think that's a good example for everybody. That we live in the present for the future. We can't live in the past, unfortunately or fortunately. We can only live in the present for the future. So right now,
you need to put that on your hoodie, fam. That's a quote. What do you say? We live in the present for the future. Yeah, that's your fucking slogan, man.
you take it for it on a t-shirt. What are we talking about? I saw you got
so that's a good one.
Yeah, but it's true though. We can't live in the past, and a lot of times we do live in the past. We hold grudges, and we do this and we do that. But the reality is that's one thing we can't do nothing about. It's the past. We could do something about the present for the future. It's the only thing we can do. Do something in the present for the future. And that's why a lot of the times I always say that your situation is temporary. Doesn't matter what your situation is temporary. If you are P. Diddy, you're riding on your yacht and you've got money coming out your nose holes and girl that are dropping out your feet and whatever it may be. If you do not act correct in the present, your future could be something else. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like nothing's promised to us. If you stop doing good things today, tomorrow is when you will reap that harvest. Doesn't matter about, yeah, back in the day, I used to go to the gym. Okay, now you don't go to the gym and you're a hot mess. Your arteries are clogging up and you've got a problem. Or you've abused your body in the past. How many of, for example, look at the bodybuilders there. At the time, they was abusing their bodies with illegal drugs that was damaging their heart and things like that. In the future, a lot of them are dead, young. Or a lot of them are a mess because in the present they was doing things that the future, they didn't have that future, that long-term view. Yeah, they didn't have that long-term view of what they was trying to achieve. Do you get what I'm saying? Or maybe they did. Maybe they was just saying, no, my long-term views, I just want to go and I want to win the championship. And after that, if I die, I die. I don't know. Maybe that was the angle. So I'm just saying to you from a community perspective, these conversations is things that I know what my plan is. I'm not going to divulge what my plan is at the moment. Yeah, I have a plan. Trust me. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, I do. Yeah, and it's just that I haven't got to that step here where I'm in pursuit of my plan, and my plan is vast, but it's centered around these type of things, etc. But yeah, that's another conversation. Yeah, but guys, good morning. And I'm like I said to you, I'm always grateful to have you. Yeah, I'm the one talking here, but I swear I wouldn't be talking to myself if you guys weren't here. If I wasn't getting the energy from Brenda. When I see Brenda's fingers flash up on the screen that she's in the Breakfast Club, it makes me happy. Gives me more energy. I might even start repeating something that I said yesterday because I know she wasn't in the call yesterday. When I see Jason here every morning, I know even if he's driving his little one to thing, whatever that he's sucking it up. I know when I go and I see Jason go box and punch man up, that the pride and the achievement that I see, him being intentional, turning around and saying, I'm going to do the boxing thing and going and punching man up, and now having a medal for punching man up and giving him the energy to maybe do it again, to maybe get fitter, to maybe to take his health more seriously, maybe to take competing more seriously, maybe to take trading more seriously, or life more seriously. I don't know. But it makes me happy You know what I mean? Because I think to myself, rah, like, if he can do it, I can do it. So I thought, when I saw Jason in the ring now, I can box. I did the boxing thing. When I go to the gym, I get busy on the bike. But I do think to myself now, when I see him, like, right, maybe I should do a little white collar boxing match. Why not? Because I saw him do it. So if Jason can have that effect on me,
Influence.
what effect does it have seeing your boys seeing you, G-Van, waking up every single morning and studying a thing? What effect does it have, sister, your people knowing that you're involved in it? What effect does it have, Alan, when people see your passion, you're going to work and you're on the thing and you're talking about certain things? What effect does that have on your kids? What effect does that have on your peers? What effect, even subconsciously, does that have on your partner and the things that you're trying to achieve? It has an effect. Because if it wasn't happening, then what would be happening? What would I be replacing this with? Like, I don't know what other people do now that wake up in the morning. I don't know. This is not part of my words. I wake up and I do breakfast club. And maybe if I watch something on YouTube, I'll talk to you guys or do some trading. That's what I'm on. I don't, obviously, yes, sometimes you want to have a little lie-in, fair enough. But I'm talking about that guy who wakes up every single morning and watches loose women on whatever channel that comes on. Nobody don't say good morning to him. No interaction with nobody. Maybe he lives alone.
No intention.
You get me? He's just there drifting. But guys, good morning, good morning, good morning. Love and blessings. Thank you for all the contributions from sister.
I wanted to ask you something before you cut, yeah, JP. You see, when I'm placing trades on the lot size calculator, yeah, this gold lot size keeps messing me up. It's almost like it over leverages me sometimes. I don't know why.
All right, so very good question. Now, if you can remember when I told you about the lot size calculator, I said this calculator will work out everything immediately for you in regards to normal Forex pairs. Meaning, if you got EURJPY, all right, that EURJPY, you don't have to touch nothing apart from changing this from from price to pips. Yeah, that's fine, no issues. Gold, your indices and Bitcoin are different.
Yeah.
All right. So when you go into gold here, XAU USD, all right. Typically, obviously, you're going to do the same thing. Change this to pips. You don't want it in price. And then when you click calculate, it's going to do some nonsense like this. You're going to have to hit this question mark. I don't know why they make it like this. And then this other little thing comes up, which is a contract size. Now, typically, if you here's an example. Let's imagine you have something and it's 10 pips. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm going to get into gold for a 10 pip stop loss. All right.
Yeah. There's another question I have to ask you as well about where is the gold stop loss on the tool? Because when you open the tool up on gold, it's like it looks different to how normal currency pairs are, and it confuses man.
What, on TradingView?
Yeah, you see, if you go on TradingView right now on XAU and just open up like a position,
it should look the same. It shouldn't look any different.
In terms of the numbers, like, you see, if you just open up a position anywhere.
Oh, I understand what you're saying. You're talking about this, doing that.
Yeah. You see, when you do, it's like, what number is your pip in stock?
So look, this number here is always the pips.
Ah, okay. So it's 904 pips just for gold.
Oh, it says 104 there. That's your cataract.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
yeah, no problem. Yeah, but listen, the point I'm making is this: this number 104 in here.
Yeah.
In here can be 104, but the reality is this your contract size or the way in which it is going to look, that says 0.962. But if in here, that's a magnificent difference in gold if you get that incorrect. Yeah, you put in a 9 lot, then you put in 0.969. This is what exactly. So this is what I'm going to say to you. There is a way in which you can calculate it and you can go and look at the numbers and this, that, and that. But first and foremost, it's unique to your broker. All right. It's unique to your broker, whether they're saying the contract size is this or that. Now, look, let me show you something. When you go to your pairs, you're able to click in here, find gold.
Yeah. Because it's not the FTMO, isn't it? Isn't that my broker?
Yeah, that's your broker FTMO, but this isn't FTMO, this is a different one. So if you see over here, it says contract size, it says 100 XAU 2 digits, all right? Okay, cool. Now that means basically that's the contract size, 100, and therefore you can put in your 104 in here, yeah? However, I would advise you that your very first trade you take, if you think this is 104 and you're 0.9, I would advise you for your very first trade that you put in 0.09. Yeah.
Okay, so add an extra 0 onto it on any
just for your first trade, and then pull out your stop. Go to your wherever it is, because when you're on your MT5 and you pull out your stop and you want to put your stop above here, that should be $100 based upon it. But if you see it's $10, well, you know that it's this is correct, 0.9. Do you understand what I'm saying?
So, yeah, because
I'm saying go under.
Yeah.
If you're using your MT4, your MT5, whatever it may be, I'm saying go under and check it first. Because once you do and you say, look, 104 pips at 0.9 should be risking you $100. If I put 0.9 in and I see it says, if I put 0.09, why do I do that? Because I don't want you to be over for your first trade and make a mistake. Go under. So if I put 0.09 and I pull out where the stop's supposed to be at 104 pips and it only says £10, well, then I know that this is correct. Yeah. If I pull it out and it says $100, well, then I'm like, oh, good job. I took that. I put 0.09 in instead of 0.9 because there's a mistake. Because look, on somebody, one person is going to read this as the pips 120. Somebody's going to move the decimal places and read it as 12. Like the point I'm making to you doesn't really matter too much because I'm saying to you, it matters about what's happening with your broker and that you understand what your lot size is. So I'm saying you should never be able to get it wrong twice. You should be able to get it wrong once, saying, okay, I'm trading Bitcoin, which is another mad one. And based upon what Bitcoin is saying, if I go to Bitcoin, have a look, you're going to see me pull out that thing. It's going to be mad numbers. You're going to see Bitcoin. I'm using my short tool, and the short tool is saying that above this high here is 106. Okay, I need to go to my Bitcoin, all right, BTC USD over here to try and see what my lot size would be. Change it over there, 104 pips. Is that what I said it was? Yeah, 130 pips, whatever it may be. All right, and when I hit calculate, it's going to ask me for this again. I hit calculate, and it says 7.1. Now, I don't want to make the mistake and accidentally risk $1,000 when I only want to risk 100. Yeah. Also, like I said to you, what you can do, like I just showed you, is you go to your MT5, you hit this symbol on your MT5, and you go and find Bitcoin just to see. Say again. You're cracking up, bro.
Man, that was the accident. I didn't even know. I thought I was on mute there. Sorry, bro.
This one ain't even letting me. I don't have a Bitcoin in this pair. But either way, I want to put in 0.7 and test it. Yeah. So if I put in 0.7 and I start pulling it out, and all of a sudden I'm sitting there going 100, 200, 300, 400, I know that I'm too big. So I want to straight away either close that trade, or I just pull it all the way down to the 100 and let myself get stopped up. But then I know now for the future. You shouldn't continuously be getting it wrong. You should just get it wrong once. Do you understand? I know you understand. You just you understand. That's what you should always do. With these pairs, you're gonna have no issues on your normal forex pairs, but on your indices, gold, Bitcoin.
Yeah, it was the gold for me because it was reading the stop loss, and then when I was putting it in, it's like it over leveraged me. So that's why I just wanted to know like which numbers to read.
Like I said, read that middle number, and like look, read that number because really that number. Some people read that number as points, so that's saying like 130 points, which is actually 13 pips. You get what I'm saying? But I'm saying to you, either way you do it, you're going to test it. Because it's always down to your broker. I've been with some brokers, and 0.1 is $100 with this, but with another broker, 0.1 is $10 because of their contract size. So it really more relies on you looking at the contract size, and then when you come here, your first trade, go as small as possible. Yeah, because then you will look, okay, I need to be.
For example, I punch it in and it says gives me a lot size of 1. You're saying just put it in as a 0.1 just to test.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. I got it.
Because then if you put 0.1 in and you see, I'm 10 times too small, well, then you should be 10 times too big. Now you know. Whereas if you just went in at the 1 and that 1 was 10 times too big and you lose that trade, bro, you're already bleeding now, isn't it? Because you just lost 10 times the amount you actually wanted to risk. Yeah, so you're better off being small, checking it, and then getting in at your entry size. But that's the best way. It's like I said, I could start going, oh yeah, you look at this number, then this number, then you go and look at the digits from how many digits from the thing says 40. I don't need to do that maths. Just test it. Just simply test it, and then you're good.
Understood. I got it.
All right, say no more. I see the sun shining anyway. All right, look, have a great day, guys. Boom. Enjoy the sunshine. And I'm going to put something on here. I'm going to put it on this. A young lady says, meet the school teacher now, make him $20 million. She says, I will be a billionaire. And it looks like a sister. So we're going to go and watch that and see what she's got to say. It sounds fantastic. But guys, absolutely have an amazing day. Lovely.
Yeah,
Stay honestly is around 300,000. I had lost
positive
today,
energy
so
today, man.
yeah,
All good, bro. Every time, bro. Every
and
time.
I definitely need to learn from this mistake. But I've got to get back up again because I know that there's the potential to make more.
In 2017, Terry Ijeoma decided to quit her job to pursue her passion in finance and to become her own boss. She now teaches others how they too can achieve financial freedom.
I'll be broke. I will live under the bridge as long as I don't have to have a boss. Please.
Yeah.
I can't get time back in my life. And I think that's the part that's really crucial. Now I'm starting to feel like, okay, what's the trade-off? I think life might be more important. And maybe this is the question. Is life more important than money?
Hi, it's Erica Kohlberg. And before we dive into today's podcast episode, I have an exciting and extra $1,000 without having to penny pinch or